For the past week and a half, I've been testing different league mechanics, all in the hopes of finding something to rival the mighty Blight mechanic. And I think I may have just found it. Now, for it to be considered a contender, it needs to have three things. One, it needs to be budget friendly and build friendly. Basically, no mirror tier build needed. 2, it needs to be profitable. I need to be able to make an abundance of currency. And 3, and this is most important, it needs to be fun. So far, these are the mechanics that I've tested. Expedition. Too hard, not rewarding at all. IV'E Beyond. Boring, mostly unrewarding. Strong boxes, unrewarding unless in tier 16.5 plus. Strong boxes with pilfering. Fun, but again, just a bunch of 1C cards. Stack deck farming. Now this one I actually like. Super easy moneymaker. I'll put a link to my video. Calguran resource farming. Mostly unrewarding. You can get lucky with some shipments, but they're super rare to show up. Which led me back to harvest. Now, I've done harvest many times, but I've never done crop rotation harvest. I always thought it was like expensive to get into and a little confusing, and I just like to elk and go. But I checked my stash and I had a few of the SCARABs lying around, so I thought, hey, let's give it a go. Now, when your first map looks like this, yeah, I was hooked. So hooked, in fact, that it caused me to customize my loot filter. Just for that little bit more satisfaction. I even changed to my ultimate in-game build. So now, I can never die. I can never die. I said, I can never die. I am a god. I have become immortal. Oh, sorry. Where was I? Ah, yes. I can never die. I am a god. Hear me roar.
Rawr. What the f***, man?
Okay. I know what you're thinking. Yes, this guy has amazing voice acting skills. But seriously, I know I said it needs to be budget friendly, and then I decided to spend an exorbitant amount of divines on a new build, just so I can play the mechanic perfectly. However, I also said, most importantly, it needs to be fun. And boy oh boy, is this mechanic satisfyingly fun. It's also speedy. You can run way more maps per hour than you can with Blight. And the juice, it's worth so much money right now. I can pull out multiple divines worth of juice per map. Now, sometimes you may get unlucky, but that's part of the fun. There's like a little gambling minigame built in. Do you risk it all in the hopes of upgrading the other colour plot? Or do you play it safe, like a boring Andy?
Bruh.
Let me just say, this is not how I base my fun in the game. If I'm only doing something because it's the most efficient profit per hour gameplay, it pretty much kills all the fun. I play games for enjoyment, and if I'm not enjoying myself, I'm not doing it. Now with that being said, I was making 20 to 30k yellow juice in some maps. I was spending about 1 divine per map because of the awakening SCARAB. And I was pulling out around 5 divines and juice alone. That's a 4 divine profit per map on a tier 16.5. Of course, not every map is this good. Sometimes you get cucked and the opposite plots wither and die. But generally you come out on top. On tier 16 maps, I'm pulling out around 2+ divines and juice per map. Anyways, the preface of this video is not meant to take this long. This mechanic just makes me so excited. So if you're still watching, thank you. I guess you're interested. Maybe even enough to consider subscribing or liking this video. And now that you've done that, here's a rundown on everything we're going to need. Okay, so this is my Atlas tree. First I'm going to point out, I don't have all 132 points, I haven't done my Maven invitations. Second, you can remove these 3 nodes if you don't want to run singular focus. If you're not running 8 mod corrupted maps, you can also take this node. It will make it a little harder, but also more rewarding. Alright, SCARABs. Now, sadly, while recording this, the Awakening SCARAB doubled in price. You can do it without it. It is less rewarding, but it's also way cheaper to run. So while the price for the Awakening SCARABs is this high, I'm substituting it with the Corruption SCARAB because I find rolling maps tedious. You can also swap it for the Wisp SCARAB if you want. So for our other SCARABs, we use Harvest SCARAB of doubling because we want to double our life force. And then we use 2 Monstrous Lineage, increasing our pack size, and then a SCARAB of Hordes, also increasing our pack size. Now for the Atlas device, if you're using the Awakened SCARAB, choose the Imbued Harvest. If not, go for quantity. We're also using blue altars. Alright, strategy. Now this is where it can get a little confusing. What is crop rotation? Well, harvesting crops in your maps has a chance to upgrade the tier of plants of a different colour. Now every harvest has 2 adjacent plots. Harvesting one withers the other, but we're using Heart of the Grove, which harvests in your map have a 10% chance for the unchosen crop to not wilt. This is where the big money comes in, if it lands. Firstly, you want to clear your entire map. Then you want to pick up any quantity altars depending on the downsides whether you can run it or not. Once your map's complete, head to your Sacred Grove and place a portal. So our goal is to empower all the yellow plots, as that juice is worth the most. And to do this, we need to kill off the blue plots or the red plots first. So what we're looking for first is a blue-blue, a blue-red, or a red-red. Always try to take out these type of plots first. Any that are connected to a yellow, try to save them. Now, sometimes you only get 1 yellow plot. Don't take the plot out next to it, just in case it kills the yellow. Always save it till last. Then it's up to you to choose to gamble it. I mean, it's a 50-50 chance, right? It'll either wilt or it won't. Alright, the best maps to run this on is probably Jungle Valley, and that way you get no boss altars. Gives you more quantity altars. I'm currently running this on 8 mod corrupted maps, because I've got heaps left over from Blight. But running this on a tier 16.5 or even tier 17, it'll yield far more juice. So if you can run those, that's your best bet. So yeah, crop rotation. Surprisingly not just for farmers. Turns out it's actually cracked for profit. Smooth to run and kinda addicting. Let me know in the comments if you're team Blight or Harvest, or if you think I'm out here just coping hard. If this helped, drop a like, and if it didn't, well, drop one anyway so I feel better about my life choices. I've got more juicy tests coming soon, so sub if you're into currency, chaos, or occasionally getting scammed by RNGesus. Thanks for watching. Now, go empower some yellow crops and print some divines.